Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we are looking at the Lego Millennium Falcon 30708. This is the poly bag set. These are $5 each. It's a wonderful little set. I I do actually enjoy small sets like this from time to time. The Falcon is a lot of fun because when we look at it, we can do some extra builds, which we will get into. But first and foremost, let's just get into the ship that it is. The old modified YT1300. And it's only 74 pieces, so it doesn't take all that long to put together. So really, I don't think I'm going to... I've put a couple of these together already, and then you'll see how that all kind of goes together. The plans are fairly simple, not too much out of the ordinary. The only trick is just trying to remember exactly how I'm putting our cockpit together, which if I start off with it, that goes even faster for me. Let's see here. I'm going to need that one of those, and this. Because once I get this done, everything else works pretty well together, hand in hand. And then it's just how much extra fun do you want to have, really. Just kind of going from that point on. Let's see. Oops, I did that wrong. I goofed it. Alright. The reason why I goofed it is because I'm supposed to do this, then put that on. And the whole thing is because I'm kind of trying to rush through this because I don't want to take up too much time. Everybody's got a lot of things going on. There we go. Now this starts looking a little bit more like it should. And we'll leave this for now. Getting this together because I've done a couple of these. You do have a couple extra spare pieces here, so this doesn't. So, just getting this all in here right, and then we're going to have a front. Another piece rolling back here, and then. Now, when I first put this together, I had this all the way back. Please do remember to leave that little gap there. That's going to be important, especially when we start trying to get our cockpit on here. So, actually, I think it goes more like that. All right. There we go. Okay. Now, originally I thought that we would have had our engine sitting out here a little bit more, but they want it ingress, or inside here a little bit more, egressed. As we get this all together. Like I said, it's a small build, so it doesn't take all that long. And really, it gets to be a little bit more once we get everything else together. How we're doing this, that's where it starts taking a little bit more time. Okay, here and there. I feel like I've goofed something up, and I think I see exactly where I did it. Looks like something doesn't look quite right to me. That doesn't go there. And I think that comes off of there as well. Yep. All right. Let's go over here because we have to have this all nice and flat because we've got to put our top pieces on here. And as you can see, I'm not really following the instructions because I've done a couple of these, and it does work very nice. Now everything I'm going to show you here today, which is all the fun things, is from these sets. Now I do admit that when I was putting a couple sets together, we did have a couple extra pieces left over, so I was able to share one and give it to another and so on and so forth. So please just kind of bear with me on this. But it was fun doing a lot of this. Okay. This goes there. I haven't done our landing gear yet, which is actually supposed to have been done a little earlier on, and we will get that in. Get our radar dish here. The old round one, not the square one. Binoculars becomes our top cannon. Let's see here. We also have 1, 2, 3. Oops, missing pieces here, there. I do have to double some of these up because we're going to flip them over, and we want our front landing gear. There's 1. There's 2. These become our heavier duty landing gear in the rear because that's where all of our cargo bays are. Support all that. So that's really all we have for landing gear, and it does sit very nice. Let's see here. Looking at the picture and looking at what we have, the only other thing I'm missing is I forgot to put, I'll take that off so I can get my fingers in there a little bit easier. Right in front of the cannons we do have this here, and we'll put our dish. Okay, and that's almost everything. I was right. That goes there because that's got to go like this. Okay, so we have 3 pieces left over. Not too bad. And then that gets us the Millennium Falcon, or a modified YT-1300. Now the fun thing is, if you're doing one, because we have 3 different versions of a YT-1300. There's a A, B, and C, and offhand I am going to flub this all up here and say that this might be the A, but you could easily flip this around, and then you have the B or the C, whichever one that works out to being, and then we have the last one. So we have 3 variations. So you can have the cockpit off on one side, the other side, or right down the middle. So with the same little creation here, we can do all that. And because I did have some extra sets and I had some extra pieces, it's fun to be able to come out and say, hey, we have a YT-2400. Now I did cheat and I put this all the way in the back. Our wings in the middle are actually inside here a little bit. I only used 2 of them, and the extra pieces I was kind of putting up here. Pieces I didn't need, and I kind of shared a little bit here. This is a little bit more hodgepodge. This is a YT 2000, which is actually a little bit bigger set. It's actually got an extra floor up on top. Yes, the cockpit does come on out. We do have some bunk rooms up here, as well as our cannon, and it is meant to carry a little bit extra cargo. Now, I didn't have the extra pieces back here, so there is a little bit of a gap, but it turned out pretty well. And it's just sharing all the extra pieces that I have here. So it works out really nice in that regard. I still have another poly bag, I can come up with another one or modify something or whatever. It's fun little sets like this that, you know, you can let your creativity go and have a little extra fun and excitement, depending on which way you want to go on that. Well, like I said, you know, getting all this together is a lot of fun. The possibilities of how you want to modify some of this stuff can sometimes get to be a little endless. Just getting to a sets or whatever and being able to build it up a little bit bigger or however you want to do it or make different ships is a lot of fun. It's just how much creativity do you want to have and what directions do you want to go. Like I said, it's nice having the 3 different styles of YT1300s. I think this should be back a little bit more, but just the way it worked out for me building it. But it's not bad. I think it worked out really well. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun just being creative and modifying this stuff. With that, thank you so very much for joining me today. It's wonderful having you here. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video.